Hey everybody, Colin with Wapsie River Rat Hunting. Just out here doing some archery things and wanted to let you know, like I said, I'm gearing this more towards, uh, as some people would say, the just good enough aspect of things. But just to let you know, most archery shops, here, this hole, if I can find it, right there, that's as, without having a micro adjust rest, that's about as good as you're going to get. You can see the 4 tears, the arrows going in straight, the fletching that may be a smidgen off with the up and down on the rest, but I mean, for the most part, that's like I said, without micro adjusting, that's about as good as you're going to get, and that's what a lot of the archery shops that I know, especially here in Iowa, will do. I started off with a bare shaft. That's what a lot of these are right here. Going through, not these big ones here were already there, but all these smaller ones like this one, that one, you get the gist. Just started off with a bare shaft. This one right there, nope, that one was my final indicator that, for me, for what I want to do, that's going to be good enough. Now, if I had a micro adjust, by all means, I would make it to where it's pinpoint perfect. I do have a touch of OCD, but knowing that I can't get that picky with this rest, for what I've got is definitely going to be more than satisfactory. So I'm going out. I'm going to make sure to readjust my sight now, so that way I'm all set, and then it's just going to be not messing with anything, putting the sight on that I want for hunting, sighting it in, and we're going to go from there. And it's just going to be repetition, and that's where you guys need to figure out your own kind of repetition sort of deal. Everybody that I know, especially the guys that taught me how to shoot, like my dad, his friends, and watching others, is do what works for you. Like for me, once I get my bow sighted in, I'll normally only shoot 2-3 arrow groups. I mean, I've got 2 with me. That's what I like to do when sighted in, is 2 to 3 arrows for sighting in. So that way, hey, things are going to go good, yada, yada, yada. But once it comes to actual repetition, what I prefer to do is 1 arrow shots. You're mainly going to get 1 shot. So I like to practice using 1. And just kind of putting that little bit of extra pressure on myself to execute a really good shot. And when I do that, I also don't go over a yardage that I feel comfortable shooting or should feel that I need to shoot. So, for example, the main farm I'm going to hunt this year, a lot of my shots are going to be in that 35 and under range scenario. So a majority of my shots I'm going to shoot throughout this summer are going to be between 15 and 40. And I will always start off at my furthest one, just for me, like I said, I like the little extra pressure to make sure to do it right, because everybody knows that when you're shooting a bow, a little bit at one end greatly affects what happens at the other end. So I always like to practice that because you never know what's going to happen. So that first shot you get on that day, it might be a 40-yard shot. Now, if you don't want to take it, don't take it. But I want to, for me, whitetail wise, that's going to be my max. In years prior, I've gone out 70, 80, 90 yards, but I was doing hunts out west and I knew that I would get shot opportunities out that far. Now, I could easily shoot that far, but I don't feel the need that I have to shoot that far. So that's why I'm sticking with my 40 yards. Now, a lot of people will sit there and say, oh, you know, shooting further is going to help you out and everything else. It can, but it can also bust your confidence real quick and in a hurry. So let's say you go grab your bow, hard day after work, you know, and you've done this numerous times. Gone out, shot 50 yards, 50 yards, 50 yards, drilling tacks. All of a sudden, you know, you're out in your backyard, something, and then there's that one little thing that happens, and you might have had a bad day at work, and you're just trying out there to go blow off some steam, and you have that one bad shot, and it ends up being drastically bad at 50 yards. That's going to make you go, what? WTF, everything else, the whole 9 yards. Been there, done that. Well, are you going to want to do it again? Because now you're going to be frustrated and you're going to, you know, are you going to be able to calm yourself down? I mean, that'd be a true challenge to be able to do, but I don't know why you would want to be practicing frustrated when you're out in the deer woods when it should be more of an excitement, breathing hard type of thing instead of more of a pissed off feeling. So that's why I like to do pick my yardages. Now, if you live out west and you feel that's the only yardages to do, then that's where you need to figure out, hey, I need to figure out a scenario, but I like to work, like I said, me personally, I like to stay within my comfort zones for hunting. And a lot of people will tell you, you stay within your comfort zone and do it, and you can do it well and do it repetitive, good things are going to happen. I mean, it's the same thing with archery. You get into that rhythm and it's boom, 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 you know, awesome. Greatest feeling ever. You want to be able to keep that feeling. That's why I do what I do. Yeah, at tournaments, I just shot one this Saturday. A lot of them around here in Iowa are for funsies. Scores don't really matter. Kind of, I don't know, I've never shot a tack, but from what I've seen, a lot of people don't really turn in scores. They're out there having fun, you know, and everything else. It's kind of our little version back here with all the local clubs. And, you know, do we shoot from the stakes? I'm known for not doing it. I'm known for shooting further back. Especially when I have a really good shooting equipment, I like to do it. But just to see if I can. And like I said, that funsies sort of stuff, you know, betting a pop or whatever. But normally it's put it into more of a whitetail hunting scenario. And a lot of the ones here in Iowa do a really, really good job of mimicking what you're going to encounter here in Iowa hunting whitetails or hunting turkeys. And I think it's some of the best practice around. And the way that I mimic it back at my place where I live is I can shoot 40 yards in my backyard. I shoot through a fence. I can go over to my in-laws behind his shop and I can mimic 100% a true hunting scenario that will probably happen 8 out of 20 times. or 8 out of 10 times, not 20. 80% of the time that I'm going to run into, and I can even do tree stand scenarios. In my yard, I can't. So I do a lot of stuff on the ground. I'll shoot from one knee. I'll shoot from standing. I'll shoot from sitting. But that's just kind of what I do. And it's worked for me. I shoot deer every year. I'm successful every year. Do I shoot a lot of big deer? No. Do I chase a lot of big deer? Not really. Can I go and chase big deer every year? Yeah, according to everybody, I live in Iowa. There's big deer around every little fence line or whatever. But besides the point, I just want to be able to put meat in the freezer. I want to be able to have fun with my friends and just be successful. And a lot of the guys I hunt with, we're not real big rack hunters. We're more of the, if we see a good deer that's, 130, 140 on up, that's about our benchmark. If it's 130s, Pope and Young on up is where we draw the line. And, for like I said, this way we hunt, getting paper tune holes like this, shooting under 40 yards, you guys can be successful. I'm not saying don't be nitpicky, don't try and do it, but just know that you're going to be spending the money with those to have all that stuff. And if it's worth it to you, by all means do it. But if it's not worth it to you and you got somebody telling you, oh, well, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. No, you don't. This is not a top of the line bow by any means. It's an Expedition. Okay. It's the Escape. I bought it new when they came out. But does that sight look brand new? It's not. That Vapor Trail limb driven rest, I spent less than that on that than I did most QAD drop-aways. And that's what did it. It was the price. I can tell you right now, in my entire hunting setup, I have less than $700 in it. I waited for sales and everything works. Under $700. It can be done, guys. If you want to see the prices start dropping in the archery industry, plain and simple, don't buy them. Put it on the manufacturers. I used to be die-hard Hoyt. Loved Hoyt. Loved everything about them. Can't get me to switch over to Hoyt right now for the pricing. Would I go and get a new Expedition? Absolutely not. Not now. Prices are getting to, I'll go spend, if it's a really, really good bow, Bowtech is almost, if Bowtech would drop their prices a couple $100 with the technology that they have and everything, I would say that's worth it with the tuning issues that you're able to do. That's freaking awesome. Same way with Elite. If they drop their prices just a little bit, I think the industry would see a great big boom in their deal if, the carbon bows went back to around that $1,499 mark. And a lot of the other ones were down around that $900 mark. I think you'd see a lot more people going out and willing to spend their money on something like that instead of knowing that, you go and try and get a new Matthews right now. I was just looking at them, $1,500 before tax. You're going to spend another, let's say you want a decent sight, you're going to spend another $110. You're at $1,600. You want a decent rest, you're up to $1,700 before tax. Throw a quiver in that aspect. Now you're up to $1,800. Before tax, you're you know, with tax and everything, you could be looking at over $2,000. I remember back when I could walk out with a brand new setup for 1,100 $1,200. You guys want to see the change in the industry? There's a fight going on about it. I've 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 been seeing it online. Um, but just don't buy it. Plain and simple. You guys want to see a change? Just quit giving into it. Well, and you know, some people might say, well, then how am I supposed to do it? You know, pick and choose your battles. You want to see bow and gun prices drop? Quit spending the money on the brand new ones. Keep what you got. You want to see tags start dropping? You know, that's where you gotta go talk to your government officials about that one, your leaders that you guys voted in. But just know that we've got control. It's just a matter of what do we want to do? Do we want to see hunting go towards the rich and only the rich? Or do we want the average Joes to be able to continue to do what we love to do? Chase bucks, bulls, turkeys, you name it. We want to be able to go and do that stuff. We're slowly getting pushed out. Take a look at price of land. Farmers asking for buku dollars just for you to be able to go out. I'm fortunate enough, knock on wood, every piece of private property here in Iowa, I have knocked on the door and don't pay a dime. But I treat that property like it was mine, and I respect the hell out of the landowners. And because they know how well I take care of it and how well I do things, it's gotten me to where I am. A lot of farmers, there's farmers out there, guys. You just got to find the right ones. They're out there. I found them here in Iowa, not far from my house. Thank the big man and knock on wood. But you know what? There's a change needs to come, and we need to do something about it. And a lot of us average little guys, we need to start supporting the local shops a lot more with our stuff, because you can get getting by, you know, not buying the high dollar end stuff, you know, and you get going with the shop well enough and supporting him. Some shop owners will toss you a bone on things and be like, hey, I got a deal on this. You know, I've been sitting on these a while. You know, I need them moved. Things like that happen all the time. I've seen it in 3 different shops that I've been religious to. The one just went out of business not too long ago. The other 2 are still in business. So, and they're thriving. So, look for deals. You know, don't give in to the hype of, I got to have this, I got to have that. You can go get a brand new bear bow, buy all Trophy Ridge accessories, and get some arrows, everything, all for under $1,000, and be able to keep it a really long time. Shoot a lot of animals with it and have fun and putting meat in your freezer. And you know, if we'd all get off just, oh, I got to chase big deer. I got to chase big deer. Hunting isn't about killing big deer. Hunting is about the chase, the thrill, the disappointments. It's everything that leads up to the kill. What adversities did you go through? You know, that's all gotten lost because of people chasing big deer. There's a few people that are wanting to try and bring it back. I want to try and be one of them, you know. But, because I can tell you right now, I'll smack a big old doe any day of the week over. I mean, if I've got a slam dunk opportunity and I've got a doe tag, you can bet your butt. If I've got a 160-inch deer sitting at 45, 50 yards, but I got a great big doe sitting at 20 yards that I can slam dunk, I'm going to shoot that doe and that big buck's going to walk. Because I don't know if I'll be able to hit him. I got a guarantee shot at 20 yards. I know that I can slam dunk. My time will come for me to be able to shoot a big deer. And it's going to be under my circumstances, my rules, not the deer's rules. And that's how I am going to stay successful and fill in tags. Do it under my terms only. Everybody can go under that mindset and have fun, but also you got to make sure not to be a jerk about it. So, anyways, guys, I have talked with Mason. I was on a live with him, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. We went and did some fishing, and what we were talking while we were out fishing, we will be doing a giveaway over the 4th of July with some baits. But we're wanting to raise his channel. We want to get his channel up to 500 subscribers. I'm shooting for 50 right now. I'm still new to this. If I can get 50 subscribers, he's shooting for 500. Little steps. Let's make them grow. Like, comment, subscribe, notification bell. You guys know all the jazz about that. But also, comment what you want to see some of the stuff I'm going to do. I am going to do what I look for in broadhead testing. There's a lot of good ones out there. It's not going to be nothing like John Luss or any of that. I get a lot of my info off of a broadhead from him. If I want to see how a broadhead is going to perform and do everything, but I'm going to go through what I look for when testing broadheads. I don't care a whole lot about the penetration and all that other jazz. I shoot 60, 65, 70 pounds. I'm not worried about blowing through a deer or getting enough penetration. I'm not worried about that. I'll show you guys what I look for. Excuse me. In broadheads, why I choose them, and show you broadheads. I've been successful. I think it's one of my shorts where I'm holding the broadhead up, and I can honestly tell you, every single one of those broadheads I have been successful with. They may not do good on some of the other guys' testings on other channels. I have been successful with them. I have also been very successful with Rage. I have been very successful with G5 Megameats. I have been successful with G5 Montex. I have been very successful with the good old school NAP Thunderheads and the regular old school Muzzy 3 blades. Still got Muzzy 3 blades, and I still think I even got a Thunderhead. Don't know if I can put it together or not, because I may not have all the components, but I do have one. So, all great broadheads. Most broadhead companies that have been around and been around the block, Magnus, NAP, Muzzy, Grim Reaper, a lot of those broadhead companies you cannot go wrong with. Magnus is another one. Can't go wrong with them. Tune your bow like I showed you. Just regular old paper tuner. See? Right there. Right there. Paper tune it the best you can with what you got. And go have fun. Go shoot things. And I mean, that's all I can say, guys. Like I said, let me know what more you want to see. Help Mason grow. Help me grow. I don't do a lot of fancy editing, so I don't do all the music and this and that and everything else. When it does come around, that's because I had Mason help me edit it out. But I want to keep this raw, uncut, as real as it can be. I'm a regular, average Joe Schmo. I work Monday through Friday, odd hours during the week. All the guys I hunt with, same exact way. Either a 4-day work week, 5-day work week. We bust our asses Monday through Friday. And we're your true weekend warriors. And you know what? We go out, we have fun. I'm going to post it, post what I can, do what I can, try and show all that. Retopia Outdoors, Jordan Nuss. Go check some of those videos out. There's a lot of videos on what we do and how we do things. Bunch of turkey hunts on there from. Go check them out. Check Mason out. Wapsie River Rat Fishing. Please like, subscribe to this one. I will be getting other content stuff out. Just got to work with me. I got young kids at home. Actually, I'm in my garage right now doing this, and I'm wanting to get some arrows flung, so I'm going to go out, fling some arrows, get my sights dialed in, and I'll see you guys on the next one, and hopefully I'll get Mason or Jordan to do a sit down, and we'll talk about what's on our mind, and comments and concerns, and what's going to be happening this upcoming season. Later, guys.